Yo, what's up? I forgot that we don't have an opening screen.
Hello, everybody.
So, what's up, everybody? This is the Saikyosen Team Battle. I am Jenn from JPML, and this is Tipzntrix
That's right.
from Tipzntrix.
Yeah, from Tipzntrix fame, mahjong streamer, English commentator, and Riichi aficionado here. Not quite as storied or titled, bannered, decorated as Jenn the JPML pro beside me.
Well, I don't have any decorations except being a JPML pro, so I think we're pretty equal.
I think we've seen some of your decorations on your stream as well.
Decoration?
Yeah, you have a nice stream setup.
Ah, thank you.
With the Dan scroll. That's a really beautiful decoration on the back.
Yeah, I usually have Christmas lights and everything as well, but luckily I don't have that today because it's too early to have any makeup or anything on. 7 o'clock here in Japan. We're starting an hour later than our previous streams have been because today we only have 2 games for you, but this is the Saikyosen Team Battle. This is a battle between 16 teams. They will three people on each team, except one team who only has 2 people. We'll talk about that in a minute. But they will be battling for 3 spots in the 2026 Saikyosen, which Saikyosen is basically the biggest pro tournament of the year in Japan. Everybody tries to get into it. So these are 16 teams. We don't have the English on there yet, but as you can see, DD Studio, a lot of the sponsors are the same as in the Yukon Fuji or Sankei Shimbun Cup that we cover as well. But a few new teams. The Forate is 4 Seasons City Plus. Everyone has 0 points, so I'll just say 3rd so that you know which number I'm talking about. 4th, Alban, Table Maker in Japan and dealer. Little is the what do you call it? Hair salon, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Kokushi Muso and Northland, new team. Aoke is is it Keirin? News publication, online news publication. All Serious also sponsors a team in the Sankei Shimbun Cup. AMC Dental, our first dentist, or dental, not sure exactly if they sell dental things. Sounds like maybe they sell dental things. I think owned by a mahjong professional with a really amazing team member on there that you'll see tomorrow. A real partner in 10th. 11th is Tomomi Shoten, which is it's a group of companies owned by Toshiyuki Tomozoe, who's a Saikyosen pro. B and Queens, new team here. Orfeu, also a new team. Number 9, I believe that's a new team.
Should have put them in 9th place since everyone's tied.
I know. That was poor foresight, but not our fault. Number 9, okay, Dohaji in 15th, and Jankatsu Master, who we also see an application there. You can see where your favorite pro is appearing on streams or mahjong parlors. So the first place player at the end of 7 sessions. Oh, we're gonna go back to that screen real quick. At the end of 7 sessions, the first place team will move directly on to the finals. 2nd and 3rd places will move on to round 2 of the playoffs. 4th through 7th will battle each other in round 1 of the playoffs at table C. 9th through 11th place will battle each other at table B in the playoffs in round 1. And 12th through 15th place will battle together on table A in the playoff round. So we'll get more into the playoffs, details of the playoffs as we get through the season. But this is basically what you're looking for is to become in the top 3 and definitely to not be in 16th place because that team is going to be cut before the playoffs.
Single cut team, huh? Just
yes.
It's last place avoidance all over.
Yes, exactly. They gotta weed out 4 teams for the playoffs. So 3 of them move on, and 1 of them is out. Yep, all the participants are from one of the 5 main pro organizations. I don't remember if there's actually anyone from RMU or even Mahjong Union, but definitely the other 3 we'll see players from all of them, and we have player owners basically from all of them, team owners from all 3 organizations. But one of the big differences is they're playing with table points only, so the total scores are completely irrelevant. Only your placing matters. So first place on the table will earn +3 for their team, second place +2, third place +1, and fourth place will get 0 points for each game. So each session they play 5 games, and the tables change each game. So unlike the Sankei Shimbun Cup, where the same teams play each other for all 10 sessions, this is 7 sessions, and you play different teams in each match, each session. So we'll see actually players from every team, I think, for the first for each session. One team will be like the table master, basically. So today we'll see DD Studio in every game, and then the other 3 players will switch out for each game, each of the 5 games. So it's gonna, instead of having 2 separate sessions, it's gonna be 1 session that is split into 2 days for our coverage here. The Saikyosen rules are the normal Ippatsu Uradora, very similar to WRC rules. Normally Saikyosen starts at 25k, but not for this specific qualifier. There's no ties at the end of the game, so the first dealer gets priority, and then the first south and the first west gets priority if there's a tie in the end. There will be no busting, or ending on a dealer win. One of the special rules for Saikyosen, as the pro matches at least, is that if you are tenpai as dealer in the last hand and you're guaranteed a first place, it's actually against the rules to show tenpai. You have to end the game if you don't win the hand. And you have to end the game if you're in first place, and if there's no chance of another player overtaking you.
That's interesting.
If you're not tenpai. Head bump rules apply, so no double roll, no triple roll. No abortive draws, no blessing of man, and no nagashi mangan. And I think there were a couple. Was there one more rule page? Oh, the system page. Oh, we already looked at that. Never mind. So our first game is going to be, as I said, we'll see DD Studio in each game for this session for today and tomorrow. In the first game, Alban will be in the east seat, represented by Yuri Ichise, a member of JPML. The south seat is Tomomo Okubo, representing Four Seasons Memorial and Rateru, which has been shortened to Forate. Also from JPML, you've seen both of these players in the Sankei Shimbun Cup as well. Toru Yajima, we will have men in this competition. It's not just the women's league this time. From Nihon Professional Mahjong Association. And he will be playing multiple games. Since we have 5 games and only 3 team members, you're going to see some of the same players over again in our table master team. And Kansuke Sugiura, a pretty popular player from JPML, also appearing in Mahjong Fight Club, representing City Plus in the north seat.
Yajima is the black sheep here, going with the black background with the little red coloring against everyone else who's got the classic white headshot.
Yeah, it matches the background though, the red.
Yeah, it matches the DD Studio, and the red matches the background of the Saikyosen here.
So give him a little white border to bring it all together.
Right. Artistically done.
Those are our teams. Yeah, you'll see most of the players are JPML. JPML does run the Saikyosen tournament now, but it's sponsored by Kindai Mahjong. So other teams are... I think that JPML just kind of jumped on. It was a last-minute qualifier that they decided to have in January, and then started the first, on March 1st. So they had to get teams together, get sponsors, and it was the end of January as well. It was a really was really a last-minute tournament
Well,
announcement.
with our introductions underway, let's head into the first match of the Saikyosen Team Battle! The debut of our English commentary stream here. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're interested in seeing this new event. New players, some familiar faces. So a mix of old and new as we get into our first game here. Let's go!
The last one was 2017, 2015. He did attend that. So he's been around for quite a while. Kansuke Sugiura as well, one of the youngest members to join Mahjong Fight Club on the men's side.
So
way back in the day. But
we've got the veterans and I guess not rookies, but the veterans and the sophomores, juniors, basically. Senpai and Kohai battling it out at the table.
Ichinose is a relatively new player. Maybe it is it might be Ichinose. Crap, we might have got that wrong. I'm sorry. We're in a little bit of a hurry.
Right, Okubo is here in the South Sea. Decided to go with the 6-pin early. I wonder what she's up to. That's definitely not an AI type maneuver.
You're right. It is Ichinose. A lot of times Ichinose has a no character in between Ichi and Se, so that was just a mistake.
So interesting. Yajima here in the west seat as well, also cutting the inside 4-so and then the inside 5-so. So we have both Okubo and Yajima not playing full efficiency here, going for some value. You see Yajima making another call. Seems like half flush is his preferred method. With 2 calls already on the table, it looks like Okubo might be a bit behind in her journey to complete this hand. But she's going to keep going. It goes Ichinose and Sugiura now making call, going for an inside hand. It looks Tenpai. I'm not sure whether it's 4-so 5-so on the right side or 5-so 5-so, but it is 5-so 5-so a pair, and Sugiura does win. No Dora there, no 7-so, only Tanya. So even in the top levels of competition, even the pros will make an all simples only hand to wash through and move to the next hand. Especially after seeing Yajima with 2 calls. Sugiura stopping Yajima. Stopping Okubo as well, but she was definitely a little slower on that hand. And
I think Sugiura is known as like a very digital player.
So that is in character for him, as opposed to the early 4-pin and 4-so discards from Okubo and Yajima that went a completely different route. And of course, it also stopped Ichinose's first dealer. Only 2 dealers per game unless you can get your own repeats. This is a classic Hanchan East-South round.
Yeah, another thing with the Saikyosen rules is that they in the normal qualifiers, the normal pro qualifiers, they actually don't use Honba at all. But in this qualifier, they are using it, so it is 300 points per one Honba, one continuance.
Interesting. We have a 3-so Dora here. Sugiura's got a 3-so in his hand, connected to 2-so, not bad. Ichinose is looking for the 3-so. She has the 1-2-so. Oh, Itsu. Oh, full straight. Hold on. Maybe. Wait a minute. I was about to say giving up on the full straight, giving up on Itsu. But Okubo thinks better of that, decides to keep it as an option. Extra 4-so beside the 3-so when Yajima already has 4-5-so. Doesn't want that extra efficiency because obviously a lot of times that would mean not using the Dora 3-so.
See, Okubo here, I think she was looking at the 3-4-5 Sanshoku and maybe forgot about the Itsu for a second.
Yeah, but she does give up on it now.
Had a turn to think about it. And the thing is, she did have her pair already in the 9s. So so it's quicker, and also we're playing with really, like we said, Kansuke is really fast player.
Yeah, and
Um,
indeed,
so she chose a safe tile, and it was, yeah, it paid off with that reach there.
an inside weight Riichi for Sugiura. Kansuke Sugiura in the West seat right
Yeah,
now.
I do have his surname on there, but most people do call him Kansuke. Even on the back of his jersey, it's Kansuke and not Sugiura. So you can go
Interesting.
either way with this player.
But he's looking for the 7, so he does have a Dora in hand, no other value, but Riichi, as mentioned at the beginning, still comes with the classic Ipatsu and Uradora, as well as Kandora from the rules that you're used to, as opposed to some tournaments, some rule sets that don't have Ipatsu, Uradora, or Kandora. So you can still get quite a bit of value from Riichi, is what I'm saying here.
Also, it's so early. You're gonna put pressure on the other players.
Right, and there's a Dora for Yajima. He's been a little bit tentative, cutting the 9 pin, but he's going to cut 5 mon here. Not completely safe, it looks like, but he's going to take a little bit of risk after drawing that Dora. Maybe he can turn this hand around.
Yeah, we do see 3 of Kansuke's weight in Ichinose's hand.
That
So
is
just
a
one
tough
more left in the
situation.
wall.
Ichinose finds Tempa here. Not the dealer anymore, but has a Dora, has Yaku, got that Tanya. We might see back-to-back Tanya hands, all simples ruling the day here in the first game. But it hasn't happened yet. There's still a 7 soul left in the wall. Unfortunately, if Ichinose does con, Sugiura would not be able to rob it for for robbing the con win. Oh, but Okubo with
Chasing reach from
yeah,
Okubo.
that's a huge reach for the dealer. And
She didn't get that Sansuku she was looking for, the mixed sequences, but
it's
still open-ended weight.
still a great way to stop Sugiura's first reach here. Ah,
Oh,
Ipatsumo! Looks like Sanchoku would not have happened anyway. The mixed triple with that draw. She finds an
that's Ipatu and
Uradora.
Chudora.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to make
that's
up
gonna
for
be
it.
Hanemon.
Massive explosion here. 20,000 points. 1,000 her own Riichi stick, 1,000 Sugiura's Riichi stick, and then 18,000 for that dealer Hanemon. So Sugiura is Tanyao in the very first hand, the 1,000 points, lost to his Riichi here, and he's tied with all the other players. As we mentioned, there are no ties in this format. So the initial wind position, Sugiura being in north, he would be in last place should the game end now, but it's very early, so I wouldn't be too worried if I was Sugiura. Okubo's gotta be very happy about that draw, though.
Yeah. You get that early in the game, and it kind of feels like, sometimes feels like it's over. Like, well, I got all these points, and no one's gonna catch up to me, and that always comes back to bite me
Yeah, you
in the
cannot
butt.
be too nonchalant. You cannot rest on your laurels too much. And on the flip side, you can't be too loosey-goosey about your defense. But the Dora's going to come out from Yajima. Early Dora discard. So he's playing his hand a little aggressively. It's a bit interesting. His hand doesn't look like it's in that great of a position so far. But maybe he is that kind of player. Where the Dora is going to hold his hand back. He'll discard it early. Great courage. Sugiura, as you mentioned, more of a digital player, still sees value in keeping that red Dragon Dora in his hand, though. So he's going to be
I'm
holding on
afraid
to it for a while.
he had a lot of pairs in the hand, so probably also thinking about an all pairs hand with a pair of Dora, which could be like they call it the express ticket to Hanemon.
Right.
See 3 pairs in the hand right now.
Yeah. 3 feels a little low, but when your hand doesn't have that many good shapes, definitely a viable option.
That is a good shape, but he commits to the pairs, discarding the
The 5-mon.
it's not complete commit, but
Yeah.
does not keep the option for the 3-3-5 shape.
Yeah.
Yajima fills in a triple next to the next to the triple of 4s. Gets a sequence, so right in the next hand you can see.
So we'll see whether
Right there
Sugiura.
you can see the 5-6-7 shape fills in.
We'll see if Sugiura goes for pairs here or not. If he doesn't,
Definitely going
oh
for
yeah,
nope,
it's
not going for
gone.
pairs. Oh yeah, you discarded the 3 before.
We'll see just how much.
Kind of might regret that after that actually, with the
Yeah,
discarding the 3 and then the 2 coming right away after.
really just how much of a roadblock the
And
Dora,
bye.
the single Dora tune is to Sugiura's hand here. That's a 4-5-6. Is he gonna go for it? He's not gonna go for Dora yet, but it's feeling like it might.
Yajima just got temp by waiting for a middle 5, but decides not to reach here, waiting for that 5 character.
Could be looking for mixed triple sequences, could be looking for Pinvu, could be looking for a better weight, but still Tenpai.
Dora came out from Ichinose, which means probably Kansuke will follow with his Dora next.
Yep, he's released it already, as
Oh,
predicted.
he did. He started it first, and Ichinose followed with the Dora. Excuse me.
We're looking at 4 pairs here. Maybe Ichinose is the one who's going to be playing the 7 pairs, and Okubo now with 4 pairs as well, but her shapes are pretty good outside of that.
As the play is a lot faster than most of the Sankeishi Moon Cup play.
5
Yajima gets that
Monroe.
5.
I do not think.
Just 1,300 or 1,600.
Yeah, I do not
plus
think.
because of the continuance, 1,300 plus 300 for the continuance.
Right, so 1,600 total. I don't think Okubo will be too upset about that, having won dealer Haneman just before. Her dealer hand there wasn't looking that good as well. She was starting to make shapes, but it was pretty far behind. So I'm sure she'll be fine with a 1,600 point loss. Yajima now the dealer trying to get his own dealer Haneman. The sparks.
Nice fill-in for Ichinose.
Right.
3.
The sparks are there for Yajima's Haneman, but it's going to take a while if he plans on going for that much value.
Hopefully, none of the other hands are really that fast, though.
Yeah, Ichinose
has an
catches
extra pair.
the second Dora, so that's actually going to slow down any chances for Yajima to get a Haneman. Might have to settle with 2 or 3 Han here. No, 3 Dora in a row! Are you kidding? Well, 1 was from the beginning, 2 Dora in a row, but Ichinose now has a triplet of Dora 8-mon. Chance to make a huge upset, perhaps a comeback if it's a direct hit on Okubo. Makes the call in the West, so now she's got value and Tenpai and a hidden triplet of Dora. So not quite Haneman because no closed Riichi, but definitely Mangan will put her into second place. The direct hit on Okubo would not put her into first, but it would put her directly in striking range in one more hand. Yajima not...
Yeah.
Sorry, Sugiura not discarding Dora here, though.
So we're playing with the rounding up to Mangan. So if you're used to playing online, where that hand would only be worth 7,700, it's worth 8,000 in these rules.
Right, the Kiriage Mangan, the rounded Mangan. Just a few 100 points usually. But sometimes it adds up, especially in the case where the scores are so close here. Yeah, now the 9-mon that Yajima was holding at the beginning, hoping to catch Dora, is more of a liability than a possibility.
Yeah,
It looked like it, but it has a few extra bamboos.
Imagine he would read Ichinose's hand as having a pair of Dora, maybe not a triple.
Yeah.
The other players are definitely going to think with that West, the early West pawn, they're going to know that she has at least a pair of Dora. And the way that she's just been discarding all of her draws, they could already suspect Tenpai as well.
Make a lot of sense. Another 2-mon for Sugiura, so he might be convinced to fight this hand. 2-so, 6-so. Oh, there it is!
Ah, there it comes!
It's exactly who Okubo, or well, exactly who Okubo did
Ichinose
not
wanted
want to
to.
deal into, and
Yeah.
exactly who Ichinose wanted to get the points from. Although, as we mentioned at the beginning of this team battle, every position is equally more valuable to get. There's no Oka, there's no bonus for first place on these tables. And there's no penalty, at least more so, for being fourth than there is normally. So it's a perfectly equal balance between each position, and as mentioned, even the points don't matter, only the position matters.
Yeah, Kansuke is starting with a triple of the double east. We see two other value pairs in both Ichinose's and Okubo's hands. Since they both have points and want to take the dealership away from Kansuke, there's a good chance. Oh, there's another pair of value tiles for Okubo. Could see some early pawns here.
Yeah, we'll see if the red dragon comes out from Sugiura. He has a plethora of tiles to choose from. Not really. He's got one completed triplet, but the rest of his hand is all a mess.
I think we'll see the south pretty early from Okubo. Probably, and probably Okubo also pawned both the red dragon and the green dragon.
Okay, Sugiura connects 1, 2, 3. Goes with the white dragon first. Perhaps it's just what's the order of the dragons in his wall. Oh no, there is one white dragon on the board.
Yeah, one
on
white
the
dragon on the
discard.
board, and there's the south. Ichinose gonna try and take this early, but still 2 away from ready.
Yeah, we'll see how long she holds on to the Dora 7, so maybe she'll connect to it, or maybe she'll have to discard it in order to make Tenpai. Huge draw for Yajima, 2, 3, 4, so connects. Our last round Dora, not very useful this round, the 8-mon. Oh, Dora connection for Ichinose. Just like last hand. I wonder if this means she's going to draw third.
And this gives her too many groups, too many blocks though. She'll keep the 3 pairs easier to call with than the sequences, since you can pawn from anybody on the board and you can only call for sequences and achieve from the player to your left.
Right. Hey, Yajima still has no pair. Sometimes it can be a little tough when you're playing defense.
Green dragon for Kansuke discards the red dragon, which Okubo pawns, but now they both have pairs of green dragon, which we call mochi mochi.
Yeah.
So neither of those are going to come out.
Okubo does have a way out without having to get the green dragon. And Sugiura does as well, but his is a little bit slower, it looks like.
Just 1 away now with the extra 8 bamboo in his hand, keeping it for the possible Dora connection.
Not looking for Toy Toy here. Not looking for all triplets for Okubo. Perhaps too many 9-mon already gone. Yeah, there's already 2 on the board, so probably figures it's too unlikely to get a hand like that.
I think what you'll see from Ichinose is pawning the 7 or the 9 dot if it comes out. There's already 1 9 on the board. And then discarding the other one to keep the pair of Dora. But Kansuke Tenpai is first waiting for the middle 7. Of course, we know Ichinose has a pair of them.
Yeah, even with double east in his hand and a Yaku, so he didn't have to reach there, and he had that nice 3, 4, 5, 6 shape. Perhaps afraid that he would become Furiten with the 1 pin already in his discard pile, chooses to reach only for the 7 pin. Maybe just wanting the dealer reach to put pressure on the opponents as well. Definitely an interesting Riichi decision. Not an obvious decision either way, but Sugiura here choosing to take the aggressive route and strike while the iron is hot. Oh, misses his draw by one turn. Ichinose draws it instead. That's going to be really good for her.
Yeah, one away now. We'll have to drop that 9 bamboo to get the tempai.
Yep.
One away for a full straight for Yajima.
Yeah, it
Saying where to make the pair. It's hard to move when you have this reach on the board.
does not quite look there. The
It's
2-soul
tempai
is
if you,
not great.
yeah.
That's the only way to make tempai, but he
Takes
goes
the
for it.
tempai though.
I mean, I guess he has got a Dora. Rimon, a little bit scary against that new Riichi, but no choice when you yourself are in Riichi. Big
And tempai for
tempai for
Ichinose.
Ichinose. She's got 2 Dora, but when you're facing down 2 Riichis, sometimes even 2 Dora is not enough to make you go for it.
Yeah, it's a Matagi
She's
Suji,
gonna go
straddle
for
Suji
it.
to the Dora against 2 reaches. It's scary stuff.
She went for it, and unfortunately for Okubo there, not really a great tile against both the reaches and the third open hand. Ends up dealing into the open hand. How many things can you defend against at once, honestly? And Ichinose with 2 big hands in a row. Takes the lead from Okubo after that dealer Hanuman in East 2.
Already in the South 1. This game is just cruising along.
An immediate twist of fate.
Make sure you like the stream. Follow the channel. If you like what you see, you can also become a member. Help us fund some future streams. No pressure, our streams are all free at this point in time. But make sure you like the stream. If you're just joining us, there is a spelling error in the East player. Ichinose is her correct name. So you'll be hearing us say something that's different that's written on screen. That's why.
So Sugiura here. All our players have really good hands, very fast hands. Ichinose, of course, the dealer, has the most to gain from it. But everyone's moving fairly quickly. Even Yajima, who was the furthest behind, now pairs up the west. That's his wind, his seat wind. Allows him to make an open call if he feels that he needs to. Okubo here holding single Dora has not been able to make any use of it. Of course, Yajima would like the Dora here because he could easily make use of it.
Another value tile, another value paired up. So it gets rid of the floating 5.
Yeah, there, out comes the Dora, second time. Ichinose.
Gotta think that Okubo's gonna drop her soon as well, but it's kind of a safe tile now.
Yeah, Sugiura making the quick call and Ichinose putting fear into that quick call with the quick Riichi. Okubo willing to discard Dora, safe to the Riichi. Maybe not quite safe to Sugiura, but he was not Tempai there. He could have used the 9, so if he had drawn it himself. But he's not Tempai, so he could not win it from her at that moment. And
Yajima fills in 6.
Yeah, Yajima played it a little bit safe, discarding his west pair. Of course, it's only his seat wind, not that useful to the other players. Not value, anyway.
Draw for Okubo, but she decides to release the north tile. She had a triple. North is generally one of the safer tiles on the table in most situations.
Yeah, it looks like Yajima's not going to take any big risks here against the dealer reach of Ichinose. If his hand comes together, he might be able to fight, but other than that, it looks like he's just going to sit back here. Okubo is also taking that same route.
I gotta say, Ichinose's weight is one of my least favorite weights, the 4-5 Pablo weight.
Sugiura here is upgraded to a much improved one away, much improved Ishanten. He might be able to get mixed triple sequence with 6, 7, 8. Still not an enormous amount of value in his hand. But after making his call, perhaps he's a little more motivated to push. And that is not it.
Not Tenpai, but still a wide Ishant and lots of choices of which way to go.
Yeah. He's gonna hold on to that 5 though. A little too scared to deal it against our dealer's reach.
It also keeps an option for an extra Han with a Sanshoku.
Right. I mean, 678 was also a Sanshoku option before. 8 so.
Yeah, lots of options there, and can always discard the 8 dot.
Like
and
that.
especially now. Now the 8 dot is safe to the Reach player.
Okubo's
the
holding on to the
dealer.
door now. I wonder what she's reading on the table. Maybe she's reading Sugiura's dangerous discards as him possibly being Tenpai.
Yeah, the 8 bamboo discard could be like from a 7-8-8 shape, and
now it looks like Sugiura was pushing reluctantly because he didn't have any safe tiles. But now that the 8 dot, the 8 pin has been discarded, looks like he might also be quite willing to just fold because he's just gained 3 safe tiles. He is still 1 away from Tenpai though, so it's not completely out.
Usually that 3 dot shape is pretty dangerous against an early 2 dot reach. Or middle, kind of middle, it's not super early, but just about the right timing to make the 3-6 a dangerous looking. But Ichinose draws it.
Now everyone can see it was a kind of strange 4-mon, 5-mon triplet weight. 4-mon, 5-mon Shampoo. Not worth that much, no Uradora.
Just reached Sumo, 1,000 points from each player.
But the pressure we saw exerted on the table, basically every other player did have a chance at winning that hand there. They all chose to at least play more slowly. Okubo and Yajima generally, I would say, chose to completely fold. Sugiura did not take his fastest route to Tenpai because of the dealer Riichi that was on the table. So even though it didn't have the greatest weight, the pressure from the dealer Riichi pushed all the other players off their hand. Whereas I feel like if it had just played out without that pressure, probably Okubo.
I like how you emphasize the Jenn in generally.
Probably Okubo or Sugiura would have won that there.
Look at this flush hand from Ichinose, just flush from the beginning.
Yeah, a very nice start for Ichinose. At the beginning, it looked like this game would be all Okubo, but East 3, East 4, and now South 1. 3 in a row for Ichinose. Huge comeback.
That's what I was talking about. The dealer Hanemon gets you feeling good in the beginning, but it might make you a little bit too comfortable. And especially with pros at a high level like this, it's very easy for someone else to overtake you.
Yeah, it's true. Two of those wins from Ichinose were direct hits on Okubo.
Oh, Yajima has a lot of pairs, but also good shapes if he decides to pivot to sequences as well.
Right.
That could be a difficult decision coming up here in the next few draws.
Yeah, it looks like Sugiura and Ichinose are similar. Okubo just having more trouble than the rest of our players with drawing tiles.
That's Tenpai, but
6
lots of change options as well.
Wonder if even the half flush is on Yajima's mind here. It's definitely on Ichinose's mind. She's going to call. South is also Yakuhai. It's a value honor, so it's going to add a little more value to Ichinose's half flush with that triplet. And of course, she is dealer, so that's going to add even more value. Okubo willing to discard 1 so against it. Perhaps thinking that Ichinose is not Tenpai. She would be right in this case. Gets it out early enough. Red Dragon always a little bit scarier. Even if they're not Tenpai, you might be giving them the chance to pwn the dragon. Oh, we're fighting!
Yeah,
Too
Yajima was
high.
just waiting for a better weight than the 6 dot for his pairs. Of course, there was an option to switch to a Shaba weight or an open-ended weight even.
And now Sugiura destroying his pair of East one at a time. See whether he holds on to the second one here for a little longer. Nope, it's also going out. Oh, that's the wrong tile. He had to double check. It is a Manzu. Sometimes I wonder if you take too long looking at a Riichi tile, feel like you can give information away to your opponents as to if it maybe that looks like your winning tile, you know?
Ah, yeah,
That kind
is
of
it in
thing.
that suit? And then you have
Yeah.
to wait for another suit and take just as long with the next suit
Yep,
to
just
try
like
and.
that. He put it down on the table, took a look, saw the 9 so tried to make it look equivalent, basically. Take an
We
equal
did
amount of
just
time.
see a second ago, Kansuke filled in his Ipeiko, the twin sequence shape in the 789 Manzu.
We'll see just how much that helps or whether he is still going to fold in the end. Oh,
His Tempai waiting for the 2 bamboo and switches to the 4 bamboo weights.
yeah, I think more safety than anything. Oh, there's a 4. Is Okubo going to deal in again? Doesn't look like it. Ooh.
Yeah, not even close to ready, really. Good shapes, though, so it kind of deceptively looks close to ready.
Right. Yeah, this 4 so is going to be pretty
Kansuke has
tough.
to make a decision. The 2 does deal in, but if he doesn't discard the 2, there it is. I mean,
Kablamo!
Yajima's reach Chitoi, just reach in Chitoi, so 3,200 points.
Not bad in the battle for 3rd and 4th. But Yajima will need a little bit more than that to make it up into the Rentai, the top 2 positions. Even though the team battle score is set, you know, +3, +2, +1, 0, just because you're positive, because you're +1, you have to think about it in that 2 players are still scoring more than you. So while it may like feel better on the surface that, oh, I'm getting a positive score, there are no negative scores in this tournament. So
Yeah, that's true. No negative scores, and yeah, one last place is definitely not a deal breaker. So many games. We have 7 sessions and 5 games in each session, and every team plays every session, so 35 games. I definitely want to minimize the number of last places, but it's gonna happen sometimes.
yeah. Oh, a pair of Tuso for Yajima. Do 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 do.
Everyone is kind of far away. Ichinose is 2 away with the all pairs hand. Lots of pairs and not that many completed sequences in pretty much everyone's hand.
Yeah.
Kansuke's draw also no
Well,
help.
this is a big improvement for Ichinose. Her dealership is over, but if she can take more points off Okubo, either with a sumo or a direct hit, that would still put her further and further out in front from all the other
Yeah.
players.
Ichinose at this point is probably going for wanting to go for the cheaper and easier to win hands. Just try and move the dealership along. Oh, there's the open-ended gut shot shape that we love. 1, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Accepts the 2 and the 4, 7.
You can see Yajima has his tiles a little bit mixed up there. Maybe that means he's looking to perform a chi and trying to make it not so obvious what he's got in his hand.
Keeps the open-ended gut shot over the perfect
Right.
Ishanten shape.
There's
Interesting.
another 4. Another 4 mon for Yajima. So we will see. It'll be interesting if Yajima tries to call. He does have some Dora, so there is value, but not that much.
Look at Okubo's hand right here. She'd kept the 7. Bamboo, she would have had it any weight, any tempai would have given her an open-ended weight, but she chooses to keep the acceptance for the 2 dot instead of for the shabo.
Yeah, I think any tempai will still give her a reasonable weight here. She doesn't have to take that
Yeah, that's
inside weight, but she
very
switches it
good.
up now.
Yeah, now it's in perfect Ishan 10 again.
Ooh, 3-6 so. Or 3 copies of the 6-0. Sugiura still needs the 3-0. And Ichinose draws the 3-0. Putting her in tempai, she reaches 6-9 mon, not Pinfu, no Dora. But the fastest hand she could make. Only Yaku's Riichi so far. Sometimes that's all you need though. Okubo thinks about it a lot, but still plays an aggressive pose. Another 3-mon.
Yeah, gives up on the middle Dora weight for a Tanyao hand. Yajima has a 2-3 for Sanshoku potential here.
Yeah, might be worth cutting 2 so here. He's got to make some thoughts. There is a Riichi on the table. Gonna go with the 4-pin because it's safe. Gives up on the mixed triple chance. Oh, Sugiura with 3-pin. 3-pin looks a little bit dangerous here, huh? But he's gonna push it from being in last place. The points don't matter, right? So if you're in last place, you do whatever you can do to get out of last place, because whether you're in last place by 100 or 10,000 points, you're still getting the same score for your team. 5-so is not called. Not the greatest call anyway, especially with one Riichi on the board. Another 8-mon. Oh, out it goes. Okubo releases it.
Just on the edge of my seat.
Not there. Not there with the 9-mon. But it would have dealt in if Sugiura had discarded it. So it's a good thing he's holding on to it for now. Both 6 and 9 deal in, so Sugiura is in a big pickle here. Not really a good way to finish his hand without dealing in. Okay, I mean, maybe that's one way to do it, right? You cut the 2-so and the 4-so, you keep all the 6s and the 9-mon, but is he really going to see that line? And the 2 and 4-so aren't exactly safe themselves. 2-so is Suji to the 5-so, but the 4-so hard to do. Yeah, so he's going to go with the Suji. He might actually get out of this. And maybe even with a Tempai. We're getting close to the end of the wall here. About 10 tiles left. Maybe 13.
There are some blockers there for Kansuke Sugiura as well.
Yes.
May decide to discard the 4 with the 5-6 blockers that are on the board and in his hand.
Right. That 6 is not super useful for Yajima. He's going to go with the 2-so that was just made safe from Sugiura. 6-pin, not a great tile here either.
That 6 though in Yajima's hand gives him another option for Tempai, gives him 4-4-6 shape. So possibly another option with the 5 for possible Tempai. There's Sanshoku. 3 dot would have filled in for the Sanshoku.
Yeah, but he might have dealt in a while ago going for it.
Yeah, I guess it would have dealt in with that 6 just now, but like we said, now he has the option to use the 6 for Tempai and not deal in.
This red dragon has only come out one time. So looks like Okubo was pretty cautious about it. And with so few tiles left, anyone not 1 away or better looks to be folding now. Okubo goes with the north. Safe enough. Last tile.
Tenpai.
Yeah,
There it is for
that
Yajima.
is.
And that 6, I think we said that's exactly what we were talking about. Takes the tenpai using the 6, so avoids dealing in.
Perfect draw for Yajima there. And tough for Sugiura, who's trying to make these hands, but no opportunities to get there. Sugiura's won Tanyao at the beginning of the game. Is all the points he's been able to rack up so far. But he does have a dealership left. You can see that Kansuke Jenn was mentioning on his uniform right there. Does that mean he's like LeBron of Mahjong? He just goes by his first name?
I think maybe like Ichiro.
Fair enough.
I say Ichiro, there's too many Suzukis, so Ichiro had Ichiro on the... Except for that Ichiro is also like a
Pretty
super
common.
like... It's like a textbook name. Like... it's like John Smith, kind of.
Right.
So... Yeah, and I'm sure it really achieved what it was meant to, but he certainly made that name his and nobody else's.
I mean, when it comes to American baseball, the MLB, they didn't have that many Ichiros there. To be fair, you probably could have gotten with Suzuki.
Either. Yeah, he was using Ichiro on his
there were already a couple pitchers named Suzuki though, so perhaps just
Sasaki. I think you're talking about.
No, that's nowadays the new
Sasaki
phenom.
Sasaki was on the Mariners before Ichiro. Yeah. Sasaki Daimajin was the first Japanese player to join the Mariners before Ichiro.
Interesting baseball trivia here. As we move into South 3, Yajima is definitely en route to making a gyakuten, a comeback, a turnaround comeback here.
We have 2 half flushes here on the board. One for Okubo here with the Manzu.
Yeah, but Okubo's is definitely in worse shape. So far, 4 isolated honor tiles.
And Yajima as well. With
you know what? Yeah, Yajima does have 4 isolated honor tiles as well. So maybe overestimating how fast Yajima's hand could be.
Thought about that one bamboo a little bit, wondering maybe should I make some camouflage, but I don't think the one bamboo creates that much camouflage.
I wonder if there's also the idea of going for Chanta there, the fully outside hand.
Possibly, but he had discarded the 3 already.
Yeah, and he's got 5-6 in hand. So maybe just a little mind games there.
And the 3 was a Dora, so...
That's a Riichi? No, just Tenpai. Ichinose already winning. The points don't matter, so as long as she keeps first place, it's worth the same. No matter what score she's at. So she's going to go for the closed Tenpai. Just trying to improve her win rate here.
Another pair for Kansuke. Yeah.
He's going to cut the triplet of 3-pin in order to lock in the shapes. Maybe get rid of Pinzu before Yajima gets Tenpai as the dealer. Yajima is 2 away here. Okubo 1 away now. But the shapes are not great. Yajima improves. That looks like it's 1 away. There's an honor in the middle, but I believe it is. Sugiura, this
has 2 calls and 2 flushes.
Yeah, what do? He goes with a Manzu tile. Which flush do you defend against?
2 players calling more than 2 calls. I think 4 calls, 3 calls between them.
Just which flush do you defend against? He decided to go with a Manzu tile, so he's defending against Yajima as the dealer. I guess that's the default option. Dealer's worth more points. Potentially deals into Okubo, but not in this case. Okubo's still 1 away. Yajima looking for that Tenpai tile as well. Yajima's 1 away isn't that great though. Looks like he needs to get a triplet of 2 or 9-pin or fill the inside 4-pin. And if he does get the triplet first, he still has to fill the inside 4-pin to win. Big chi, huge chi for Okubo. People so afraid of the dealer that they're throwing Manzu tiles. since they don't want to throw Pinzu toss. Finds the 4!
There it is.
Isn't this a huge weight, or is it just 2-9 triplets? I think it is just 2-9
right now it's
triplets.
2-9 Shabo, but what's the potential to change that to even a 3-sided weight, possibly? Even bigger, maybe, if
Oh, comes the 8.
not right away, but possibly.
Now comes the 8, but Okubo discarded an 8 recently, even if Yajima did just change his hand. Technically could have won on that 8 pin, but it's not the case this time. Or not that he can actually win on it, but after changing his hand, he could have had an 8 pin weight, even though Okubo had discarded it a couple turns earlier. 1 pin goes for the chi. Now it's a 3-6-9 weight. I think that's it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know if it's that much better, but it's there. One thing you got to remember is when you do that, you lose your draw for the turn. Like, maybe the weight is better, but you've also lost a draw getting there.
Ichinose grabs Okubo's weight. She was Tempai already, trying to decide what is the best Tempai to keep. She discarded the 7. They both look dangerous to Okubo's 3 calls.
Yep, this is a tough
both
one.
The 7 and the 8.
Maybe a fold is happening as she's in first place already. But even that, what do? Do you go with the Sozu and hope that Sugiura isn't playing on those? Yeah, she is going to do that. Sozu looking like the safe tiles on this battle. Oh, big sumo! That's a full flush, not even a half flush. All the honors were removed. Yajima collecting Haneman. I get, yeah, it must have been Itsu as well, full straight.
Yep, the 9 creates the full straight because he cheated the 1, 2, 3 and the 4, 5, 6.
Right.
You see that 7, 8.
The chi that he made actually getting him 6,000 more points here because he gets the last copy of the 9 pin. Perfect timing. Very excited. Points flying out of his tray. He's got to go down and retrieve them. Good enough for first position here, and it's not even a small lead either. 12,000 points ahead.
Yeah, I remember it was Okubo who started with that lead at the beginning of the game.
Chat calling out that was actually Chura and Poto if he had a closed hand. That's crazy, actually. Oh, man. That's pretty wild.
Have to recover from that hand.
8 pin discard from Sugiura. Looks like we're gonna have a few unconventional hands here. Yajima having the most conventional hand, but that also makes him a lot faster than our other players who are not exactly playing the straight line here. Okubo might be getting paid off for it though. Catching a triplet of white of Haku? Yajima, super fast reach. That might shut down any of Okubo's big plans for a comeback here.
Yeah, the thing is, Yajima is perfectly happy if anybody except for Ichinose wins the hand and moves to the dealer to Sugiura,
Right.
who is in last place, but wants to get a little bit of a buffer so that Ichinose is no longer within the Haneman range.
I mean, Yajima has a Pinfu. He's got a decent weight. One of the sides is the Dora. So not that easy to get, but if he does get it, it can be worth even more. One, two, three mixed triples for Ichinose. That could give her the comeback hand. Hard to fight this Riichi though.
Yeah, her goal is probably going to be to get within the Mangon Sumo range of first place.
Oh, another 2! This is Tempai! She's gonna play closed. Interesting decision. No Riichi. She's got a Dora, I believe, and the mixed triples. So that'd be 3 Han.
Yeah, so 52. Oh, there it is.
Big draw.
I mean, even with the 5,200, that win would get her, like I said, within the Mangan Sumo range, and even closer than that. Yeah, but with a hand like that, it's just
Yeah, she could turn it around
gotta push
immediately.
hard. Exactly.
Especially with Yajima being the dealer. But he catches her. That is probably one of the worst tiles she could have drawn after Riichi. 5,500 for the dealer here. 3,500 from Ichinose.
There's a 2,900 point hand with 2 continuances.
Yeah.
Now we go into the third continuance with Yajima remaining dealer.
So up 22,000 points, almost 22,000. His hand not looking quite as good here, but oh, never mind. That's three finished shapes. Once he moved that 3 over, it looked a lot better. So he had the 1-2 edge weight, the penchan, but no, he already had the 3 months. So yeah, Yajima looking to strike again here. 3 completed sets. We'll see just what happens. He actually has 3 Dora here. That's super duper lucky.
It's feast or famine on this table, and Yajima's feasting while Kansuke is starving.
Yeah, I mean Okubo had her chance in the sun and East 2. Ichinose had her chance coming through East 3-4 and South 1. Yajima is turning it around on his dealer in South 3. It's only Sugiura who has not led this game. Oh, no, I mean, technically, Sugiura had a chance in East 1 with the Tanya.
East
1,000
did
points.
1,000 point hand. Yeah.
Yeah, that was when Sugiura was leading. But that doesn't mean that every player has held first place at least once in this game. No matter how little it may have been. This has definitely been a very exciting, very back and forth mahjong battle. I want to
Yeah,
call
and you
it.
go into this thinking what the goals are going to be with other players. Of course, Kansuke still has a chance to Renchan, to continue as dealer and come back to first place. But in this case, probably Ichinose is going to try. I don't think her hand is not really a potential monster, so she's gonna try and keep her. She got a 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku possibly, but try and keep her second place
Yeah,
position while Okubo is gonna try and take that away.
we might see an open Tanyao call. All simples. Interesting. Sugiura is going to discard the inside floater, the 6-pin, and keep the 9-so instead.
So the thing is, normally when you're in a league like this, if you can't improve your position, then you try and go for more points.
Right.
But in this case, more points doesn't really make a difference. So you can make more of a buffer between the player below you. But going into the last hand, just getting more points for the league score is not going to be an option. So it's going to make for some probably more exciting hands than you would usually see in a league like this.
Fortunately for Sugiura, he does have that last dealer, so he can get as many hands as he needs as long as he keeps winning. And this could be a good start for him. No value yet, but he could get a 6-mon for Dora, and he does probably have Pinfu. Okubo trying to do the same thing, maybe with Sanshoku, 4, 5, 6, mixed triples for herself. Huge draw! No Riichi, though. I don't think it has Yaku. Is it Furiten?
No, no Yaku, no Furiten, but there's a potential for another full straight there.
But with already 3 Dora, you think it would be enough to just go for the Riichi. He's got this 1-4. Yeah, he's not Furiten. But there it is. Now he doesn't even have to reach. He's got Pinfu Dora 3. Maybe just playing exceptionally safe here with his 20,000 point lead.
Yeah, he doesn't need to risk dealing in at all. Like I said, in the last hand, you would be happy if somebody besides Ichinose had won the hand. Now that he won a big hand from Ichinose, he really doesn't care who wins the next hand. It's very unlikely anyone's going to catch up to him.
Ichinose is one away here. Ooh, that's not quite it. It's 3-6 pin after the pinfu change.
And that's another situation where if you're in a normal league, you definitely want to maximize your
Is this
points, even
it?
if you're
This
in
is
first
it.
place.
Sugiura is gonna take his last chance. He did not get full straight. Did not get Itsu, but he's gonna take whatever he can get here.
Riichi, Pinfu. This might be enough for Yajima to just give up his hand, actually.
Yeah,
Not gonna.
hard for Sugiura to win though because he's looking for that door. I believe.
I mean, the other thing is since Yajima has the 3 door, he might just push, because he's not really that scared of dealing into Kansuke's hand.
Right, he has a
The
chance
only
to
thing
just
is
change his weight here. Oh, he's gonna, yeah, just fold straight up.
just fold.
1-4
If,
so
if
here.
the old school players might say at that point, if you deal into Kansuke in this situation, then you give him the flow.
Well, maybe he'll take the flow for himself. He's running out of tiles to do it with the 1-4, so all he's looking for. And you can see how many of them are here in Okubo's hand. She goes with the 2 so safe, but not the winning tile. I wonder if there are any left. There's a 1 so here earlier from Yajima. Not sure if any remain. I think there's a 1 so left in the wall.
There's
No,
one.
there it is. That's the one. That's the 1 so. I think now
The last
Sugiura is
one.
out of sumo options.
So in that case, we'll probably see it end in a exhaustive draw.
Oh, fine.
With
No, not
one player
Tenpai. That's a
Tenpai.
south. That's a south, not a 2-mon in the middle there. The south is replacing the 2-mon. So it looks like at the least Sugiura will be able to get 3,000 points. Minus his Riichi stick, so 2,000 points, but
Yeah, so
maybe?
she's away the sheeing away the Haite tile
Yeah.
from Kansuke. So if nobody calls, then the south player always has the Haite tile, the last tile of the draw. So Yajima just did a very standard shift in the wall.
So 2,000, well, 3,000 points to Sugiura, but he had to put 1,000 in the middle to reach. So 2,000 point gain for Sugiura here. He's looking for that dealer mangan. Dealer mangan would put him equivalent to Okubo. No, there's Honba. There's 4 Honba because it was a exhaustive draw. So dealer mangan would get Sugiura ahead of Okubo. If it's a sumo, it gets him ahead of Ichinose. Obviously, direct hit on Ichinose would get him ahead of Ichinose as well. And this might do it. So we might be seeing another shift in the tides. And not looking too bad
Rough
here.
hand for Okubo. Rough hand for Yajima. Yajima doesn't really care, but would like to just end the game with a quick win.
A quick 5-pin from Ichinose. Wonder if she's content with all of her current shapes. Just to give up a 5 so early. A 4 so out of a 4 so pair from Yajima. He's playing defense right off the gate. His hand is just too poor. At least in his opinion. Oh, more thoughts. When you play this very non-standard folding from the very first tile, Haipai as it's sometimes called, it can be difficult to decide which tiles to discard. You say, when do I start actually using safe tiles? When do I keep discarding dangerous ones? And at some point, maybe your hand actually gets good, and so you think, well, when do I actually start playing the hand instead of folding? But yeah, the early fold seems like it's going to work out very well for Yajima because Sugiura's hand is becoming really good really quickly. No Dora in it yet though, but still reasonable chances of picking it up. Doesn't catch it there. Is he going to give up on his Dora? He's not giving up on his Dora chance, even though it costs him a little efficiency. He wants that 6-mon. I think there's a 5, 6, 7 mixed triples chance if he draws the Dora. So that is like that's the dream draw. You hit Yajima with a Hanemon directly off of that. And I'll actually still wouldn't overtake, but it would be very close. You'd need a Baimon. Four pairs.
Going for
Oh,
all,
no.
yeah, all pairs. Has one Dora, so hoping that pairs up.
Yajima going with the south tile here. Ichinose gets it. Sometimes when you read the board, you discard the south tile and you're just hoping somebody calls it so the dealer doesn't make a huge hand. And so maybe that's
I'm
where
just
Yajima's
feeling
releasing
for
it.
Okubo that kind of kills the all pairs hand.
Yeah, we'll see if
But
Okubo has enough points. There's a lot of bonus points on the table. 1 Riichi stick, 4 Honba. So Okubo doesn't need much to pass Ichinose, but her current hand might not actually be enough.
it's a 49-point difference minus the 2200 she would get.
Yeah, she does have 1 Dora. Maybe Riichi Dora and that might do it. That might be enough.
Definitely be enough with that sumo.
Yeah.
We could get, there's Ura, there's Ippatsu, there's lots of options, so it would make sense to reach even if the hand doesn't already have the value.
Right.
But it's just the shapes are so bad for a normal reach hand.
Yeah, I mean, Okubo has not discarded any pairs here. Sugiura is going to give up on the big dreams here to just try and get another dealer turn. He's going for a small hand. Especially after seeing Ichinose's call. He needs to outspeed that in order to get another shot at this. But that does mean he's...
Of course, it's the double south.
Right. That does mean Sugiura does not have a chance at getting out of last in this hand. I mean, unless some cons happen. You never know.
I don't see any triples that can become cons. This.
Oh, well, there's one.
There we go. And then
3 so 10 5 or Ichinose.
The last south is not on the board, so maybe she could draw the south for another add clone.
Getting a pair right after discarding the pair is unfortunate. Now what does Yajima do? He's got more than enough safe tiles against these hands. Sugiura has no choice but to push. Ichinose does have a choice. Could fold. We'll see whether she actually exercises it.
No south con?
That's right. Doesn't happen.
Oh, interesting. Yajima. Yajima's getting some good draws very late in the hand.
Right, look at this 2-5-8 so waiting for Sugiura though. He's not able to capitalize. To be fair, considering the hand is so minimal, if it goes to a draw, he might get more points that way. Well, no, not with the bonus points. Not with the Honba and the Riichi stick on the board. But it's close. Either winning or going to a draw with nobody else tenpai. Question is, will Ichinose be able to stay tenpai all the way to the end? There's still 10, 12 tiles left. Triplet.
Yajima's draws.
Tiles just keep getting better. But I don't think he's going to be discarding the other ones. 3-mon. 3-mon is not 3 so it doesn't deal into Ichinose. Still no 2-5-8 so for Sugiura. A lot of them being used by the other players, especially Okubo here, who pairs up again somehow. What? What? Yajima might be tenpai.
One away from ready now.
Yajima might end up being tenpai as we come to one more draw here for Sugiura. Does Yajima find tenpai? He does.
Yes.
That's insane. But is he gonna risk it? He's not going to.
That's not. That's a massive hand.
Last draw? No, for Sugiura. Now the last draw. But it's actually crazy. That was that 3-so that he just drew. That 3-so he just drew is Ichinose's winning tile. If he had just kept his 258 weight and not thought about it, it would have ended up dealing in, ending the game. But some decent forethought there from Sugiura, taking a different tempai. And that keeps his dreams alive in this South 4. 5 Honba.
It was Yajima also using the 3-so at the very end there.
That's right. Ichinose not able to call the 3-so to her hand. Pair of west, pair of north, only one south and no easts though. So Yakuman,
yeah, that's like not that
yet.
great of shapes, but I think it might end up being a flush actually in Kansuke's hand.
We'll see if he goes for any early calls of the guest wins, west or north.
I'm going for that flush.
East. There's an east. Maybe there's hope. Maybe there's indeed a chance after all. Of course, we can see a lot of these wins in other players' hands.
Dora acceptance, keeping the 2 for the 3 Dora.
It also means he has got a copy of the Dora indicator, which can be the hardest to get with those shapes. So it's good for him that he's already got it. How comes White Dragon? Nobody can pick that up yet. Sugiura only having 1 copy, and it's gonna go.
Yeah, Yajima doesn't have a great starting hand and is kind of apprehensive about discarding honor tiles. Doesn't want to give anybody a quick win probably, but with that open-ended, then he's gonna feel better about risking the honor tiles, especially with the 1 cut already south.
Yeah, Ichinose currently the owner of the fastest hand on this table.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. I think he would want people to discard pawn the value tiles because he doesn't really care if somebody gets a 1,000 point hand or even an 8,000 point hand.
Oh, a pair of south! Could this happen? Oh.
I wonder if I think he was.
How comes north? Hong.
Well, I think Yajima is thinking about keeping that for safety for later.
Will Okubo go with west, or is she going to think better? Yeah, she's going to hold on to it.
Yeah, the only person Okubo does not want to win at all, for sure, is Kansuke. If she can't win, she doesn't want to facilitate the dealer winning.
Oh, Ichinose Tenpai, close Tenpai. No Riichi here. She's not going to fight for first. She's going to be playing for second only. But first is pretty far away, so makes a lot of sense.
It's not that far away, actually.
Yeah, 18,000.
Yeah, direct hit with Mangon would do it.
With the bonus points.
I think, yeah, 2,500 extra points.
Yes, it would do it. Because the direct hit, it's 1,500 plus, but also 1,500 minus. But considering how safe Yajima's been playing, and it works out here for second place, obviously, as we mentioned. Sugiura not able to collect his 4-wind comeback in South 4.
Imagine I'll take first, 19.9 points. Of course, we don't add any UMA to these because it's irrelevant. So it's just the scores that you see on the board there. And Sugiura taking last place with minus 15.6. Man, that was an exciting game.
It was a crazy game. Everyone was winning. There were even a couple Yakuman chances. To be honest, they weren't that close, but there were hopes. There were beacons of light that there could have been Yakuman comebacks in that game. So we had everything. We had quick hands, we had lead changes, we had fast hands, and we had slow hands. We even had many dealer, they weren't actually dealer repeats. A lot of times we just call them dealer repeats because when you deal a repeat, you add a hombo or a repeat counter, but a lot of exhaustive draws coming down to the end as players really trying to avoid dealing in.
Yeah, Yajima had some some continuances. Man, what a comeback. He just could not even, and if he had been going for like scores and points instead of just placement,
Right.
I think he would have actually racked up a lot more.
Yeah, if
he did have some really good hands after that as well.
If the rules had been different and he wasn't playing so defensively already.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see a lot of this sort of aggression and these comebacks in this league going forward. We have some aggressive players coming up as well. There's some M-leaguers, not today, but in the future, in future games. So, but we do have some exciting players in the next game as well.
Makes a lot of sense to me because Yajima, the only player making a repeat showing here.
Oh shoot, that is not Kool-chan's picture either.
Well, Yajima's here.
That's Gold Saito's picture up there. Two mistakes on my part. I'm sorry. We had a very small window of time to prepare things. So don't look at that picture in the south seat.
It's okay. You'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see enough of Kool-chan from the actual game video that you'll get accustomed to him.
I just did not. I hit the wrong hide button. Anyway, we have Kozue Miyauchi representing Orfeu in the east seat. Kool-chan and not Go Saito in the south seat representing Little. Go Saito isn't even on the Little team, so completely ignore that, please. Shota Akutsu in the west seat for JPML representing AMC Dental. And Toru Yajima once again in the north seat representing NPM, the Nihon Pro Mahjong Association, for the DD Studio team.
Well,
let's get away from this screen really quickly, please.
Everyone who's super excited to see what Kool-chan looks like. There he is right there. Suit and tie and everything. I guess.
Miyauchi Kozue in the Orfeu uniform, also Shota Akutsu in the AMC Dental uniform.
Yeah, you
and
did.
I love how Yajima always has a vest. I really like the
the cardigan with the tie.
No, vest.
The vest with the tie.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between that kind of a vest and a cardigan? Because a cardigan's like a vest, right?
No, cardigan's a sweater. So this has long sleeves.
I see.
A fashion lesson.
Yeah, baseball and fashion from JPML Jenn here. So this red dragon for Yajima, he's gonna go with the white one, and this time he really doesn't have a reason for white over red, not like the last time, just wherever it showed up in the hand. But it does keep Kool-chan from pawning it, at least for one turn. Let's see if the red comes out in the future. He does go for it, just playing them in the order. No pawn from Kool-chan here. Yeah, I guess it does make sense that he could make mixed triples with 6, 7, 8. The red is currently working as his pair.
Kozue Miyauchi, we've also seen her in the Sankei Shimbun Cup or Yukon Fuji Cup. We haven't seen her in the Sankei Shimbun Cup yet, but we did see her in the Yukon Fuji Cup.
It's the same cup.
A couple of times.
Oh, we saw her when the name was Yukon Fuji. That's correct.
Yeah,
she's a veteran of that Yukon Fuji Cup. In fact,
she's been a pro longer than I have.
Yeah, there was a bit of a rivalry between her team and one of the other teams in the group.
Yukiko Izumi.
Yes.
They're like long time best friends, and I think that she said Izumi always feels like she loses against Miyauchi. And so Miyauchi always tries to be on her table so she can intimidate her. Of course, Shota Akutsu in the West Sea is, I think he's the youngest player ever to become an A-leaguer.
Ooh.
I think he just moved up to A1 at the end of the season. Also, always the teacher for study sessions. He does a show on the JPML channel, actually, teaching new women pros.
Oh, interesting. And that is live on the JPM. Well, not live, but that is up on JPML's YouTube channel,
I
the
think it is.
Japanese
Yeah, I
side.
think they do it live. And also, he was a teacher, I guess, teacher for one of my study sessions in my Discord as well.
Exciting, exciting. We'll see.
All right, and we have some hands here.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Miyauchi's rivalry before, but this time she's on the table with all men.
Yeah, I mean, she's in a lot of like the Mondo League and stuff, so definitely, although she plays in all of the women's leagues, also has very good results in mixed leagues as well.
Yeah, Kochan, interesting. He is getting very close to Tempai here, but looks like Miyauchi's a little bit closer. Yajima almost forget that it's not the last game because it looks like he's folding again, but his hand is just not coming together. That's why it looks that way. Miyauchi getting closer and closer to Tempai there.
Kochan kind of folding as well. Didn't take the most efficient discard. Instead, discarded the safe 8 bamboo.
Right.
From this hand. This was a difficult decision. Not sure what I would have discarded there.
A call. Yajima makes a call, so he's turning his hand around, going for that. The full straight, the Itsu. Maybe not even going for it, but just trying to get Tempai at the end.
Tempai from Miyauchi with Pinfu. Waiting for the 6-9 dot.
Yeah, pretty solid Tempai for the dealer here. Pawn here from Kochan. 1 away. Out comes the 5-mon.
Yeah, interesting move. And Yajima is kind of stuck. Not Tempai yet. Lots of dangerous tiles.
Yeah, Yajima's in a tight spot.
And
this is
basically folds. Yeah.
Right. This is the Saikyosen qualifier. You're enjoying the broadcast, enjoying the mahjong. We had a super exciting first game. If you want to check out that VOD, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when we next do a show, as well as easily be able to catch the VOD and the old.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, I'm sorry, it's a team format. There are 7 sessions. Players switch tables each game actually. So we will see all the teams each session. Today we're playing 2 games. We end up with an exhaustive draw 2 tempais, so the dealer will continue. The points don't really matter. It's only placing, so you only get table points in this format. So first place will get 3 table points, second place 2, third place 1, and fourth place will get 0 table points. And the top team at the end, there will be a semifinals and a final session. The players on the top team, will get entry into the 2026 Saikyosen.
Oh, the 2026 Saikyosen.
Right, because the league only goes until August, but the finals actually don't happen until November. and December. So the semifinals are going to be in November and the finals in December. So almost a full year event,
That's
even though
interesting.
the qualifying rounds end in August.
This is definitely an interesting way to run a qualifier for a individual event, like an individual league, is to play a team battle for an individual league qualifying spot. But everyone
Well,
on the
it's
team gets
three.
in.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
3 qualifying spots. So.
Still slightly unusual though to run a team event for individual, like to qualify to an individual event. But you gotta try new things, keep things interesting here. And you know, with the success of M League and other formats, the Sankei Shimbun Cup that we've been casting, you know, it seems a lot of viewers like the team dynamic.
Yeah, it is fun because almost all the broadcasts that you see from leagues are individual formats.
Hmm. Yeah. Is this the JPML studio here that they're playing in?
I don't know. The JPML table was usually orange, I thought.
Hmm. Yeah, because the walls have been either redecorated or it's a different studio as well because
No,
they're in that deep red, which is not
it's a
typical. I see.
different studio, different table.
Miyauchi here again with a solid hand. Kochan not as solid this time around. There's a nice 4 to replace the 1 for Akutsu. And that's a Dora. Will Yajima keep 3, 4, 5, 6 as his shape, or will he just lock in 3, 4, 5? A lot of options here. That white dragon is 1 out. But maybe he wants it for safety. I'm gonna cut a pair. That's not what I expected at all. Maybe we're gonna see a Tanyao shift. I don't think that's gonna happen with Miyauchi doing a reach though.
A second reach for Miyauchi, keeping the pressure on during her dealer turn.
That's
Second turn at
right.
dealer.
She did not win the first time, but it was enough to get to a draw. So she didn't win, but nobody else won either. Still East 1 here. Definitely a slower paced game than the first one. Maybe not player speed, but just in the way the hands have been moving forward. The progress of the game. Out comes some honor tiles still. But can Miyauchi
Nice
draw her
fill-in for
winning tile?
Koto. Koto fills in a middleweight that with the Dora. And 2-3-4 shape.
Yeah, Miyauchi still having trouble finding 4-7 mon. They are close to the Dora. She does have a couple copies of like one of each herself. And now they're in all the other players' hand. Every player has at least a 4 mon or a 7 mon in their hand. So
One away for Yajima.
it looks like Miyauchi is out of luck unless one of these other players gets Tenpai and discards Miyauchi's winning tile. At most, there's one more. Not completely sure of my count, but at most, there's only one tile left for Miyauchi, but I think there's none. Then again, one is enough if it is there. 6-7, what a draw for Yajima. Yajima's gonna fight it near the end. Near the end of this wall. Is that one tile left? That's no, two more. That's not it. It was close, but that's not it. Kochan does not find Tempai, but able to make it out safely. Our two Riichi players showing their Tempai. More
Yeah,
bonus
Senpai
points.
again.
2 Honba, 2 repeat counters, 3 Riichi sticks, 3 Rebo in that corner of the dealer as Miyauchi continues her dealer turn. Still winless, but still dealing. Akutsu, no 10 both times. So Akutsu slowly falling behind, but clearly no great peril for him right now. Still East 1, and it's only a 3,000 point deficit. Are these games on a time limit at all?
I didn't see any time limit in the rules. But since there's 5 tables going on simultaneously, I'm thinking that there must be some sort of time limit, and it would be. But I think it would be shorter than the 80 minutes that we see for Sankei Shimbun.
We will have to be mindful. Akutsu, 5 pairs, was that?
But the last game did go on about 70 minutes, so maybe there isn't a time limit.
4 pairs for Kochan here. But he also has other really good shapes, like that 4-5-6 mon. No, Akutsu only has 4 pairs, so he's in a similar situation as Kochan. Considering our players here, Kochan 1 away, giving up on the pairs.
Akutsu also went away. Yajima, little. Yajima. Kochan looks kind of excited about that hand. Quick discards.
Big draw for
Akutsu,
Yajima there. He seems to be 1 away now as well. And he
I think
filled in his
Akutsu
worst weight.
actually 2 away here.
Yeah.
That one more.
Yajima. Dora, though, that white dragon Dora that just showed up in Miyauchi's hand. You can see Akutsu discarded it. It's discarded already, so.
Kochan also had an option for a little bit more efficiency, but decided not to take it and to keep the safe north tile. I think the 4 dot there would have given him a few more options.
Miyauchi holding on to the Dora. The one tile that doesn't match her shapes is the Dora. I guess perhaps it's still kind of a safe tile since it was discarded 3-4 turns ago. Call for Akutsu.
Cheese for 1 away. Just a tiny hand, but a couple options for pulling.
Yep, perhaps that's what convinced them to cheat. Oh, wait. Miyauchi had 1-3-3 mon, not 1-2-3 mon? It looks like Miyauchi's not actually Tempai. Looks like my eyes are deceiving me. Very common mistake. Mix up the 2 and the 3 mon because they look so similar. Miyauchi moved her 1 mon over. Perhaps to lock in 3 mon as pair.
Kochan did get to Tempai, but has not reached. I think is looking for the upgrade to the Sanshoku.
Out goes another Dora Miyauchi. No Dora for her. There's Tempai.
Yeah, that's the pawn we were talking about from Akutsu. Waiting for the 3-6 character now.
6, 7, 8. We've got another Tempai. Yajima does not want to Riichi.
So 2 non-reach. Oh, there's the reach.
Whoa!
Maybe the poem from
reach.
Akutsu. I think the poem from Akutsu convinced him. And put the pressure on when your opponent has called and has less room to fold.
Tsumogiri! Yajima's in there now as well.
That's the. Guess what, guys? I was Senpai, and Yajima says, "Well, guess what? So was I."
We'll see just who comes through, or is this going to be another draw? We are starting to get to the end of the wall. It could definitely be another drawn hand, but these weights aren't bad.
Too far, you see a couple of the 2s in Akutsu's hand.
Right.
They're both waiting for the 2-5, so who can get there first? There is no double rounds.
Oh,
So
Kochan's nameplate knocked out.
since there are no double rounds, if Miyauchi were to discard the winning tile, then only Kochan could win on it, and if Akutsu were to discard the winning tile, then only Yajima could win on it.
It looks like this time the nameplate is more papery.
And kind of
Zumo!
last minute. Oh, Yajima draws
Yajima
it.
Zumo! No
Just 19
Uratora.
sumo. Yeah.
700, 1300, but there's so many. Oh, no, 900? No, that's after Homba. Yeah.
After home. 2 Homba, so 700, 1300 is 900, 1500.
So many bonus points. It became 9,500 total points. What a rush.
How many reach sticks on the board? There were 3 from previous hands and 2 from that hand.
It's endorphin booster to draw your tile right there. Get the first win of the match. But we have to remember, Okubo...
Probably on a high from the last game.
That's true. Okubo had that big dealer Hanemon in East 2 last game, and it didn't pan out for her come the end of the game, so Yajima cannot sit on his laurels here. He's still's got to play the rest of the game out. So is there one broadcast table for this event?
Right, 5 tables are going on at a time. One of the tables of those is broadcast, and they switch out players each time. All the players switch tables, all the teams switch tables each time. So we'll actually see each team on this broadcast table, and then the teams will be playing on other tables.
Right.
When they're not on the broadcast table. So each team will play 5 games per session. And we'll see 2 today and 3 tomorrow.
It adds up quite nicely. Quick tempo here for Yajima. He's trying to get this game moving along now that he's in the lead. Pair of East for Akutsu. Miyauchi not keeping the pairs. Only keeping one pair. Kochan pairing up his East. So now Akutsu and Kochan both with a pair of East. Of course, Kochan being the dealer wants it more, and neither of them get it. Yajima wins the quick hand.
Just 1,000 points.
Flashes. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, he had massive hands in the last game, but yeah, just trying to seal the win in with some. Well, it's a balance game, right? When you have an option to win a quick hand, you want to keep the dealership moving, especially if you have points already.
Right. Yeah, it felt like a big hand, but it's actually Yajima only had won 2,700 points, really. 700, 1,300 in, so only small hands this game so far. It's just there were so many bonus points that it added up. Ooh, this time
Nice
Akutsu
fill-in.
with the fast hand. Akutsu making it even faster by call Tenpai. I'm sure he wants the double East for value here, though. He's not in the lead.
I think Akutsu is one of those players with perfect efficiency, perfect calculations.
Perfect win right here. Super fast. He did not get the double east, so it is only a very small hand. But a win is a win. He gets his dealer turn back, and that actually puts him into at the third place. Just enough to get above Miyauchi, but still under Kochan.
I don't know. The setup really is the same as the as the JPML studio, isn't it? It's just different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it might be the studio. Maybe they switched out the orange table.
Yeah, and they set up the wall.
Yeah,
For the
the walls.
Saikyosen.
Yeah, the walls. They do have walls that they can change out, so that must be what happened. And plus, this is the same overlay as you see in the Sankei Shimbun.
Right.
Cup.
And you did say at the beginning that JPML is hosting the qualifier event for this year for this team battle. So now we're looking at Miyauchi with that pair of red dragon. We'll see whether she calls the last copy of the red dragon. It's still in the wall. All of our other players still working on their hands. Nobody too far ahead. Akutsu, as the dealer, has 2 sets of 1, 2, 3, but no signs of a mixed triple. No signs of Sanshoku. Missing all of the Sozu tiles. No 1, 2, or 3 of Sozu. Oh, there's a 3 now. 3 Uso. He's holding on to it, so maybe he is looking at that mixed triples. Yajima looking more towards Tanyao, all simples. And Kochan drawing 7, 8, 9, so we'll see. Definitely a lot of strange hands showing up here.
Nice stick to the 3 bamboo of with the 4. Oh, fill in with Yajima. That's his second middleweight fill in.
3
in 3
so
draws.
showing up in force. Of course, 5 Man is the actual Dora tile this time. Yajima might definitely be able to use it here. Miyauchi trying to use it, but having a little more trouble. And Akutsu wants it, but actually gets rid of his door acceptance with the 6 Man. I guess he still has 1, 2, 3.
Waiting for the 1, 2, 3, and he
Yeah.
drew the 1 and
There,
got the option for the 1, 2, 3
the
mixed
last
sequences.
red dragon. Kochan's gonna hold on to it. I wonder if Miyauchi would call it in the future.
Now might end up using that 1 as a pair instead of for Sanshoku.
6, 7, 8. A lot of options here. Gonna get rid of the red dragons. So Kochan basically has that as a safe tile now.
Yeah, they both do now.
Right.
Miyauchi as well. Discarding 1 and the other is now the safe tile.
A 6? A little bit useful. Not exactly what she wanted, but she's going to hold on to it. Discard the 3 pin instead. Slight improvement. Yajima also finds that 6. Chi has been called. Miyauchi setting up her hand almost looked like a Ron, but no, just a Chi. She had both hands on, shifting her hand around.
Now 1 away from ready. With options to pawn as well. Lots of
Right.
pawn and
Another
chi
Dora.
options.
That's a tough spot for Yajima. Ooh.
Tough, but can use the 4.
It looks like Kochan just going for no Yaku. No Yaku Tenpai. We're getting close to the end here. A10. But even with that, Kochan is still not Tenpai yet. Still needs a few more tiles.
4
one
characters
more.
in high demand
Oh,
here.
and there's a Dora. That's gonna make Kochan's Tenpai much harder. Dealer
Tenpai for
reach.
Akutsu late, very late dealer reach, waiting for the 6 dot.
Yeah, hopefully
Pair of them in
for
Yajima's hand.
Yajima's sake, he doesn't discard any of them here. We'll see though. It would be really good for
Not,
Akutsu.
yeah, I can't imagine he would. It's just one away. And Ken Tenpai with keeping the both Dora as well, so would probably discard the 2 over the 6.
Tenpai! Miyauchi Tenpai. 5-pin, close but no win. Now a tough spot again
Oh, there's
for
the
Yajima.
2.
2-mon, a little bit scared, but goes through safely.
So all the 6 dots, all the winning tiles for Akutsu are in people's hands.
1-mon, no use there. What is this? 2-pin. A lot of options now for Yajima, but we are going down to the end of the wall. No matter what option he picks, he basically has one more draw, I think, to make it work. Could also just fold. Yep, and that's what he's gonna
Yeah, I
do.
can't imagine him pushing for a Tenpai in this position.
With only one
Already in
draw
first
left.
place, does
Yeah,
not
in
want to
fact,
deal into the dealer.
Miyauchi leaves her Tenpai. She moves out of Tenpai to not deal in. Or to not deal what she thinks is a dangerous tile on this one. And that's that.
Make sure you like this stream and subscribe to the channel.
Thank you. Thumbs up for this new Saikyosen Team Battle. That we're bringing English commentary coverage on here. The World Riichi Championship channel.
Had a couple of bumps in the road for our first broadcast, but should be pretty good to go tomorrow. 3 games coming to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And an hour earlier than today, so don't miss
You
it.
can see the Saikyosen logo in the back there when the camera pans out to show all the players.
The Saikyosen mascot is Akagi.
Yeah, you can see the fire on that banner. I saw that banner before I even knew what it was many years ago. This tournament, well, not necessarily the team battle qualifier, but the tournament is it 2 decades old? It's at least 1 decade, right? The Saikyosen?
Saikyosen, oh, much older.
Yeah.
It's been around as long as I have, and that's almost 20 years, so.
Yeah, so 2 decades at least, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think even longer. It's, yeah, the Kindai Mahjong sponsored tournament. Takeshobo.
Right.
The first one was in 1989, so
Holy.
older than Tips.
That is 30, almost 40 years old. Very storied tournament here. This is one away though. Talking about the oldest, the old tournament, and we're here looking at the youngest A1 leaguer in JPML. Well, the youngest person to attain it.
To attain A League. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it's, yeah, maybe the youngest A1 leaguer as well.
Akutsu in the dealer spot. Trying to get double east. Double east seems to be hard to come by on these tables. Kutsu not able to get it last time, but he was still able to manage to get a winning hand even without it.
Yeah, and he's so young, in fact, that also Saikyosen is older than Akutsu as well.
There you go. He's playing in a tournament with more history than him, technically, I suppose. Another
He has
3
played
man.
in the Saikyosen. So Saikyosen also has some separate events. So there's one where other pros can recommend like their Kohai pros, and he was recommended by Nakata Kana
Interesting.
in 2023, and then recommended by Kotaro Uchikawa in 2024, I think. 2020, maybe 2020. 2020 was recommended by Nakatakana.
345.
2024.
345 for Miyauchi. It's a huge draw for her. Still have not seen these easts that Akutsu really wants in this hand. And Miyauchi still one away. That is going to be Tenpai. 2, 3, 4. Mixed triples. 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku Tenpai for Kochan. Chance to turn this game around. At least for him. 6, 7, 8. No Riichi though for Miyauchi. Dora comes out from Kochan, but no choice. Already in Riichi. Dora's safe to 2 other players as well though. Dealer Riichi. Is this 4 players Tenpai? Not quite. Yajima is not there. He is now! He is now! But such a poor weight. I can't see him reaching here. He will take the Tenpai, but he does not reach. Really tough draw. Miyuchi's just going to Riichi, though. 3 players Riichi. Only one can win because of head bump. See what happens here. Yajima, the only one who can make any decisions now. In a tough spot. This is tight. There's no end to it yet. 3 players Riichi. Usually it's done by now. But yeah, the suspense continues. Here we go to Yajima. And he's going to, well, it's not a complete fold. Yajima still has a shot at making the 4th Tenpai. But he's definitely not playing his most efficient line. Really hard too with 3 Riichis on the table. And now he is just folding. So Yajima out. It's going to be the other 3 in Riichi, drawing and discarding until they win, or Akutsu gets a redeal because of a draw. Still haven't seen this East though, huh?
So Akutsu actually won A2 League. He was first place in A2 League and moved up to A1 this past league session. But his Twitter profile still says he's in B1.
What a humble
So he hasn't
guy.
updated it for a year at least.
There is 1 East in the discard piles, but this last East, is it in the dead wall? Or is it in these last 4 tiles? Because everyone's in Riichi. So if it's in these last 4 tiles, unless Yajima draws it, it's coming out. And that would be huge for Akutsu here. Oh, Miyauchi Sumos before that can happen. No Uradora, but glad to get all those bonus points. Again, a small hand bolstered in number by the absurd amount of bonus points that are on the table.
They just keep piling them up and then...
Yep, this time Miyauchi collects. Not enough to overtake Yajima, but definitely within striking range. And we are still in the East round. We'll only just moved to East 4 here.
Yajima is dealer in the first hand of the East round. Miyauchi also, at the end of last year, went to Australia for their national tournament.
Interesting.
With her husband. Her husband is actually on the same team as her in this event as well, Tashiro. I think Kotaro Tashiro is... So they went to Australia together to play in that tournament. I think they both placed in the top 8 or top 5 maybe. They had really good results in that event.
It's a fun bonding experience. Maybe a vacation. Maybe a little bit of work, a little bit of play. And a lot of sun. And that's the guarantee when you're in Australia.
It was summer as well, yeah. Even though it's late in the year. Of course, the opposite seasons.
Right.
Than us in the upper hemisphere.
1, 2, 3 there. Miyauchi looking
One,
to
two, three, four, yeah.
overtake. I wonder if Yajima goes for a called hand here. He's got all these Tanyao tiles, but the shapes aren't great. So it seems a bit slow if he waits to draw them. Out comes the Dora from Kochan. There's definitely certain tables where players are more willing to discard Dora. Other tables where players will clutch Dora till the very end. Out comes a pair of 8-pin. First of the two pairs comes out from Akutsu. Perhaps the second one won't come out though, because I believe Akutsu's got a 4-6-8 shape. Oh, Tuso, Phil. Not gonna use the 1, 2, 3, 4 though. Just gonna leave it as 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. Miyauchi rotates down from 5, 6, 7 to 4, 5, 6. And Kochan is 1 away. Gonna keep the same 1 away he had before though. Pair of 7-pin for Yajima. Makes him the proud owner of 4 pairs in his hand. Another pair for Kochan as well, but not much use for it there.
His hand is just really rough. Nothing gonna happen there. But Miyauchi, I think, was 1 away from ready.
Oh,
Yep,
Tempai.
there it is, Tempai.
Miyauchi Damaten. Close Tempai. No Riichi here. Feels like she could use the points to get over Yajima's score, but old habits die hard. You don't want to Riichi just a Pinfu. Cha-ching. 1,000 pointeroonies.
Now bring us into the south round.
Yeah, see, if that had been a Riichi, I mean, of course, Yajima probably wouldn't have dealt in, but it would have been enough to overtake.
You look at the overlay down there. You can see the 1 point. In the yellow is the team points. So Orfeu, Miyauchi's team was 3rd place. Actually, all the teams, Little and AMC Dental, were 3rd place in the first game. Only DD Studio taking 1st place in the first game for 3 points.
Yeah, so this is the second time we're seeing DD Studio today. Of course, second time we're seeing Yajima himself. Been playing both games for DD Studio. Sure hope they didn't make him play all 5, but maybe.
Yeah, I think. Well, I can tell you that Yajima did not play all 5 games, but it would not be strange for one player to play all 5 games in one session and take turns playing sessions.
Because you had mentioned one of the teams actually only has 2 players.
Right.
So that'd be quite something. But most of the teams have 3 players, is what you're mentioning. I wonder what would happen if the team with 2 players wins. Will there only be 2 seats given?
No, they are going to have a 3rd player, so that was something I said I was going to get to. So they're going to have a qualifier for the 3rd seat. And they're having it nationwide, so there's going to be qualifiers in multiple places.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm going to play in it.
Oh, good luck, Jenn. It's a qualifier for a qualifier. But that one, I assume that one's not an open. That one is for pros only.
Well, yeah, this event, this team event is for pros
exactly.
only, so yeah. So yeah, I signed up for that. While I was doing the editing for this, Poorly, obviously, but I didn't have that much time. Anyway, so when I was doing the editing for this, I noticed that they said they were going to have a qualifier for this third seat.
Oh, interesting.
And so I signed up. I messaged the team that doesn't have the third player is All Serious. And Sakiku Tezuka, the husband of Hisato Sasaki, not the wife of Hisato Sasaki, he is her husband, is on the team. So I messaged her to ask about it was already on Twitter, on X, but I hadn't seen it. So
Right.
yeah, she gave me the sign up info, so I am signed up. And hopefully I can send some coverage for the channel about it, but I'm not sure about that yet. I'll have to find out.
That'll be interesting for sure. Just like the WRC has a team in the Sankei Shimbun Cup.
Right.
We could
So it
have
wouldn't be the whole. Yeah, I
right.
mean,
We could
yeah,
have a
it
team
should be
member.
exactly the same. A team
Right.
member. We only have me doing commentary for the Sankei Shimbun Cup as well.
Hmm.
I don't know, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of people, and it's nationwide, so it's a very small chance, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Yes. So we see Kochan here, 1 away from Tenpai. Akutsu is looking for that Tenpai. Has been 1 away for a little while. Gonna go with the 5 right out of the middle of the hand here. That allows Yajima to also discard the 5. So
You know, Akutsu takes a safe tile, switches out, replaces a floater with a safe tile. Still 1 away from ready. And there it is. Tenpai Akutsu reaches.
yeah, we've seen a lot of close Tenpai this
Oh,
game, but
Yajima reaches.
we've also seen a couple of 3 Riichi battles. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I mean, we've
Kochan is
seen.
now caught. I don't think the red dragon deals in, but it's got to be very scary because I think Yajima's using it as his pair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely not a
Yajima
safe tile.
doesn't have a Yaku. I wouldn't have a Yaku without the reach. I thought it was frozen for a second, but Miyauchi was just thinking very still.
Yeah, there's a lot of points on the line, and she's the dealer. So if she has a chance at pushing, definitely something she wants to think about here. But her hand really isn't in the greatest shape.
Two, 5, and the 1, 2, both of characters for these players. Ko-chan has called, so he does not get the high tate tile. It will go to Akutsu, I believe. And it is not anybody's winner, so they will end in an exhaustive draw again.
Seems
This time
like
Miyauchi is not Tenpai, so the dealer will move to Ko-chan. Seems like
yeah,
what?
seems like that's been a pattern this game.
Yeah, I keep getting more and more points on the board. On the more points up for grabs, the reach sticks carry over.
It is some games, not every game is like this, but it is true what they say a lot that pro games end up drawing like 3 times more than people who are just playing. Just 3 times higher draw rate in professional mahjong than there is with just your average players playing.
So our dealer is Ko-chan. We got some bio info. I didn't have time to make bio sheets as well this time. I know most of the players, but we got some info from Edwin actually.
Oh,
Ko-chan was a celebrity from a YouTube channel called Quiznok.
So
And he ended up joining JPML. And he had played in the Saikyosen. So Saikyosen, there's a lot of pro qualifiers, but there are also amateur qualifiers and like celebrity qualifiers, and there's a lot of events going on with the Saikyosen. And he played in the celebrity division before in the past.
so that's why he's Ko-chan, huh?
Yeah, I mean, some you can have a like a mahjong name. You don't have to use your official like personal name. Like I just go by Jenn. Obviously, I don't use a surname. So he just goes by Ko-chan for his mahjong and celebrity name.
Let's see if that can take him through here on his dealer turn. Miyauchi collects a second red dragon, maybe just in time. Ko-chan actually sticking to the pairs though. So they might both end up be waiting for the red dragon here by the end of this. It's another pair for Yajima, although I don't think he's going for 7 pairs. Another pair for Akutsu, but he's definitely not going for 7 pairs. Oh no, that was a 2.
Why he has the golden
Yeah,
Ishanten that I love to talk about. One away from either a full straight or Sanshoku.
Yeah, I thought it was another 3-pin that he had drawn. But as he moved it over, it was actually a 2-pin. Much better draw for him.
So you'll see that the 1 or the 9 character will make him ready for the full straight, and a 2 or 3 bamboo will make him ready for the Sanshoku. So that's called the golden Ishanten, the golden one away.
Okay.
And I love it. I aimed for that a few times yesterday when I was playing at the dojo.
I see. I feel like you shouldn't get that many chances for it, but I suppose it was just golden. It was just golden for you that day.
And the 5 is also, that was like, man, Akutsu, that with that 5 dot had so many options, but he'd already discarded the 4 dot.
Right.
So the 5 dot isn't quite as good of a tile as it looks. As good of a...
Is this? No. Well, it is Tempai, but it's not any of the golden one aways. Not any of the golden Tempais. Yeah, Akutsu.
Well, take reach.
Akutsu considers it golden enough. There's still a lot of tiles left. Yeah, maybe could have been more patient, but Akutsu, one of the more aggressive Riichi's. Riichi-ers in this game. Don't think we've seen him do a closed Tempai yet.
I'm putting the pressure on as much as possible. 2 of the winning tiles, the 4s, are in Yajima's hand. But it comes out the 8. From Miyauchi's hand, the 8 comes out.
So that's not bad for Akutsu. Did not get any of the golden shapes, but in golden position. That is, he could be winning the gold of this game. First place. Very small. I was going to say very short, but very small lead. Above Yajima here, 200 points. And definitely nobody's out of the game. It's true. For this scoring system. As long as you're ahead, you get the full 3 points, no matter whether you're 10,000 points ahead or 100 points ahead. Or 100,000 points ahead.
And Akutsu's team could use it. All the teams could use the first place. Only Yajima's team so far, the DD Studio, has a first place already. Looks like Miyauchi fills in a middleweight.
That's right.
Almost another chance at golden Ishanten for Akutsu. He can have it more than once in one game.
We'll see if he makes it there.
Does not take it.
1, 2,
I was
3,
looking
2,
at
3,
this
4,
6,
5.
7, 8.
Yajima, chance to come back, get first place again in South 3. Of course, he's going to have to defend his dealership in South 4.
Should have kept that 8, Akutsu. You could have got the golden Ishante.
Sounds like Jenn is still aiming for it, even though she's not playing.
I have zero doubt that Akutsu makes better decisions and discards than I do.
Good spot here for Miyauchi as well. Kochan looked like he was about to think for a little bit, but then seemed to catch a wind of inspiration, immediately picked up a discard with great fervor and energy. It was like his hand was bouncing across the table as he discarded that one. He's like, oh, no, this one. He'd figured something out. Even I'm not sure what he figured out with that discard.
That 6 is going to give Akutsu options for a possible inside hand, shifting to an inside hand.
This is a crazy draw. You have 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, but it's in the middle of 1 and 5. Is the 4-mon floater better here for Yajima? Very hard decision.
Well, it's a 3/6 weight in the bamboos, so not better.
Yeah, so he's gonna keep that. This is Tempai. Tough Tempai. But it is 3-so weight. Let's see how much Miyauchi puts stock in that.
You didn't put emphasis on the 3-so weights before in the first game. I was gonna ask you about that and I forgot.
It was more straightforward. This time it's not a weight you'd normally take. And in fact, Miyauchi.
There's Tempai for Yajima waiting for the 3/6.
Miyauchi did not believe enough in only 3-so. So she's going to play a different hand. We'll see if it pays off for her here.
So Yajima did not reach, trying to get a quiet win with the 3/6 and pull the dealership away from first place Akutsu.
Oh, no, that's a 7. So it can come out just fine, and no sneaky win from Yajima. A 1 away now for Kochan. His chance at a comeback. That's a Dora, though. Akutsu drawing the Dora in this clutch moment.
And locks it in.
Yep. Miyauchi not stepping back. It almost felt like she was the dealer the way she kept quickly pulling these tiles and just discarding them anyway to keep her 1 away here at Ichinose. But she's actually not the dealer here.
Kochan has pretty much given up on this hand, even without any reaches on the board. It did seem like Kochan was kind of giving up early often, not just against reach.
Yeah, but he's in last place here. He has the least reason to be giving up.
Yeah, but it seems like he has maybe a, I talk about thresholds where if your hand is not going anywhere, what discard you're going to decide to fold on. It seems like his threshold is a bit early, maybe around the 10th or 11th tile.
Huge Riichi from Miyauchi, but it's Furiten. Can still win if she draws a Dora. I'm not completely sure how many are left, though. I think 2 in the wall. So 258 pin weight from Miyauchi. Yeah, 2 in the wall is honestly pretty good at this point in the game. There's actually a pretty high chance she just pulls a Dora. Not that one, though.
Kochan is just 1 away from ready with 1 safe tile.
2 pin, but it's safe because of Furiten.
Yeah, it looked like he was folding with the 7/9 discard, but actually just 1 away.
Yeah, Kochan is still not quite out of this yet. Oh, there's an 8 pin.
Good to draws the 5. I was waiting. He had the 4/6/8 shape and discarded the 4 to lock in the Dora, but draws the 5 after the backfire.
Oh,
5
another
after.
5? Kochan now holding on to that 5. Wonder if Kochan will have the guts to Riichi if he makes template. Very difficult tile to discard, the 5/8 pin, especially 8 pin being Dora. Miyauchi waiting on 258, but Furiten, so has to draw it herself. Big decision here for Yajima. Big think. He doesn't want to give away the hand because this could get him first place right now, but Doesn't want to deal in because he could fall all the way to last with a really bad Hanemon. Mangan wouldn't be great for him either. He'd end up in third, but a Hanemon would put him all the way in
But
last.
he still has a dealership, so that's what makes this decision difficult.
Yeah, he can just try and let this hand go and try and win it in his last dealership. But this is a really good shot for him. He's in a pretty good position here. But that Tumon is just
There's
so
no
dangerous.
draws left. Like,
Yeah, a solid opportunity to get the lead here with a Tenpai.
this is Haite, right?
I think so. Yeah, Akutsu is not
Um,
Tenpai.
Haite could take the lead away from Akutsu. Probably is reading that Akutsu is not Tenpai as well.
What's it gonna be? Yajima! He goes for it! Big play!
It's not a massive, points, only 1,500 points, but that is a first place, and
Yep.
all you need is the tiniest lead.
Of course, now he's got to defend it. Any big sumo could put him... Well, not any big sumo. It would have to be Hanemon. Mangan sumo would not put him underneath Akutsu. But Mangan sumo from the other players might get them ahead, like Miyauchi would get ahead. Kochan would not, I think, on a Mangan sumo, but he would certainly take a Mangan sumo. Oh no,
So another thing to remember is...
Kochan would get ahead on a Mangan sumo. Just not first place. Be behind Akutsu still.
Yeah, doesn't need to go for Mangan for that placement. But if he has a Mangan, he could reach for a possible Hanemon, which would get him into first place.
Right.
So another thing to remember with these rules is actually these pros are not used to playing in this format. Most pros probably have not played in this format before,
Right.
where only table points matter.
So maybe Kochan has a little bit of advantage here as he's drawn a very nice hand in South 4. Problem is there's no value. Well, okay, there is value, but he hasn't connected the door yet. That's the only value. And it's an honor tile. While it is a Yakuhai, like a value honor, the white dragon, still means there's only 3 copies of connected tiles that you could possibly use. Finds a template. He doesn't want it. He knows he needs the points.
It's interesting. He has the 8 wall, the 8 blockers, 8 dot blockers in his hand. So his thing probably feels like the 9 dot is a really good weight and wants to use it with the...
No, I think he just
not
wants the
anymore.
points because his
No,
hand
but
has no
I mean,
value.
if using it with the Dora
With the Dora,
would be a good Shabo weight.
yeah, but considering he only has 1 Dora, he probably expects that he's gonna have to pair weight, Tanki weight on the Dora.
And I wonder
Unless
if
he
you
can
discard
draw
the
it.
9 first instead of the 7.
Because it's not like he can open call it unless he draws the Dora. Then he could do like an Atozuke or an after the fact Yaku.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that's your aim, then would you keep more tiles in the Manzu and get rid of the 9 dot earlier instead of the
possible.
Manzu discard?
Yajima now Tenpai. Of course, a small hand is going to give him a bit of a buffer, but it's not going to win the game for him because he is the dealer, so we'll have to repeat. And he'd still be within range, especially of Akutsu, but it would be a little bit of insurance. It's not like he can afford to just give up the hand because he can't just let somebody else win here. The scores are too close. Yeah, Kochan could have been out of it by now, but the question is, would he have pulled enough Uradora or Ipatsu to at least get third?
So we talked about the rule at the beginning of the game where if you are a dealer in first place at the end of the hand and at the end of the game, the last hand, of the game. Oh, there's Reach with waiting for the Dora, as you said, the Tonki wait.
Yeah, I was a little worried when Yajima discarded a Dora that Kochan might be out of opportunities, but Kochan Tenpaiing just a little late, but still early enough that you might be able to catch some other Dora. One turn earlier. Go ahead.
If Yajima had an extra 2,000 points here, he would not be able to, and the hand was going to end in a draw, he would not be allowed to say Tenpai. If you say Tenpai in that situation, then I think you're disqualified.
Wow. That's a big penalty.
Or maybe, yeah, something, or maybe there was some really big penalty for it.
Different Tenpai option here for Yajima.
Tombo.
Could go.
I did talk about it on my stream in January, but in this case, he's less than 3,000 points away from second place, so he would be allowed to say Tenpai, because you can't be sure.
Yeah, but Yajima actually not actually going out of Tenpai here. Does not want to deal into Kochan at all. Which means if Akutsu finds a way to make it to Tenpai, I mean, it's hard for him as well. But if he does find it, I mean, that's 4 pairs? Nah, not gonna go that way. But if Akutsu finds a way to make Tenpai, he could overtake Yajima if this goes to a draw. Of course, if Kochan draws Dora, all bets are off. That is a Mangan Sumo if Kochan draws Dora. At least.
Akutsu definitely needs to get Tenpai because he knows that if Yajima's not Tenpai, that will seal first place for him.
Right, but he obviously doesn't want to deal into Kochan here. That's easily like 2 table points lost if he deals into Kochan from second to fourth.
No. Not necessarily.
That's true. But we assume that Kochan is looking for something Mangan-ish. If it's a Mangan, it's second to fourth.
Yeah, it will depend on how... If he feels like he can read the hand or if he feels like the risk is worth it. Yeah. If he feels like he can read the value.
Exactly. If it's 3 Han, 5,200, he would be... I think Kochan would still overtake on the 5,200 with the bonus points. It's close.
I think it's just barely... Yeah, just barely with 5,200.
Yeah, it depends whether the Riichi stick on the table is included in the 2 that's on the scoreboard right now.
Should not be included.
Oh, then yeah, it should be enough. But yeah, Yajima, our main dealer, our main focus here in this last hand, has been folding and is continuing to fold. So Yajima is just playing on either Kochan sumos and it's not enough, or Akutsu deals in, or Akutsu's not Tenpai when he goes to draw. Now that I'm double checking, I think Yajima actually stays in first even if Kochan does a Mangan Sumo. And I'm looking at it again because 15,200 points. So I get 12,000 plus 2,000 bonus. It's only 14,000. 1 home, but it's still not enough. Oh, but if Kochan's reaches, I'd get him up to 22,000, right? That's only 14,000 per slot.
The 2 sticks at the top is counted.
So it should be enough then. But this is what Yajima is taking his bet on. Miyauchi now is getting in the game here. I wonder what being Tenpai is do for Miyauchi. I don't think she falls behind even if she's no 10.
I think it's not. It's a 15,000 point difference, and it would only get him within 14,300.
Yeah, but we go to a draw here.
It doesn't matter. And Akutsu is Tenpai. That would give Akutsu the first place.
What a crazy finish. What a crazy finish.
Just barely by 200 points. They went back to the points that they were at before going into the last hand.
Ooh, what a Yajima.
And Akutsu is just like
Yeah.
totally relaxed, drinking some water.
Yeah.
Miyauchi is not happy with that
I mean, it's
finish.
mission complete for him there.
0 points.
Oops, wrong one. Wrong one.
There we go.
Wrong.
Right people, wrong event.
Yeah, exactly. Right music too. Who put that?
Well, this
slide
is
there?
the first. We really didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this. We only got the video yesterday, and the players. It was only decided like what was it, Monday, that we were going to be streaming this.
Yeah, much
So
appreciated for watching this pro mahjong with us. The Saikyosen. This is the first time Saikyosen has been commentated in English.
Yeah, and tomorrow's commentary is going to be... All the screens are going to be correct. All the players are going to be correct. And I'm going to go in and actually edit the screens on this. So we will re-upload this video later with at least the spelling and pictures fixed. So if you heard that the pictures were wrong during this broadcast and they actually weren't, that's why. Because that's kind of too much. So, but thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for bearing with us with the 2 little mistakes there. And you can see we will be streaming this all the way through August, and also we're planning to stream the finals in November, the semifinals and finals in November and December. So these streaming dates will go alongside our Sankei Shimbun Cup.
That's right.
Streaming
The
as well.
Sankei Shimbun is starting to get into the playoffs now.
We have one last regular session next week. What are those dates? The 13th and 14th. I should be playing on one of those featured tables.
The Jenn table.
Our team is playing on the 12th. So yeah, our team is playing on the 13th. 12th for you guys, 13th for us. Rika and I will be manning the table for that. So we will be bringing you that commentary, and then we'll come back in. Oh, I think the next week also, the 20th and 21st, we'll be streaming the individual playoffs for you for the Sankei Shimbun Cup as well. Then we'll have the individual finals and the team playoffs. Oh wait, individual finals for Sankei Shimbun, and then team finals for Sankei Shimbun, and then we'll have session 2 for the team battle. And these will happen the same week as the team battle events are happening in Japan. So join us for more English commentary. I think you'll really enjoy the stream tomorrow as well. We have some big players on the tables again.
Sounds like
times.
it's gonna be a good time.
Oh, Tomozoe will be playing tomorrow, and Go Saito. So you saw the picture up there. It'll be the correct picture tomorrow.
It'll be perfect.
Also, Tomohiro Honda, M-Leaguer, will be playing in Game 4 against Remi Otsuki, who you've seen in the Sankei Shimbun Cup as well. And lots of big names playing tomorrow, so make sure that you don't miss it. Come watch.
Yep. Like, thumbs up the stream, and subscribe to the channel. You'll get that notification. So you won't miss any of these Thursdays, Fridays so far, or other days in the future perhaps, where WRC will be posting these fancy events.
Yeah, some of these on this list are weekend dates as well, so it just depends on when these games are not. So Yukon Fuji is always played on Thursdays in Japan, but this team battle is not always the same day of the week. Sometimes this time it was a Saturday, sometimes it's Sunday, sometimes it's a weekday. So we've tried to make it match that schedule, and it's to bring you the games as quickly as possible.
All right. That being said, thank you for listening into the inaugural broadcast of the Saikyosen, the 2025 team battle on the WRC in English. So from us here at the studio, Jenn, the JPML Pro, and Jeremy, the Twitch streamer and Mahjong commentator. We will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.